Excellency Oba Dr. Olanrewaju Adeleye, the Atewagwe II, and others comment on the importance of the festival.
But tourism is one of the things that makes money to the government.
In Nigeria, we have several traditional festivals which we can also promote in order to engender better economy.
Festival to Ikoro-Ekiti, I think, is one of the integral parts of the society. When you are talking of culture, you are talking of history. It has become a device from a generation to generation. Festival to Ikoro-Ekiti, we have a lot of them because we are very rich in cultural heritage and we believe in culture.
Ikoro-Ekiti is always agog and in joyous mood anytime the masquerades come out, accompanied by drummers and songs. If government can project this festival, it will become a source of tourism to the town, state, and the nation at large.
Our programs are getting better and fresher. And it's because we are thinking about you. NTA, it's all about you.
On the news tonight, investigating panel into the use of public funds in the Office of the National Security Advisor indicts 300 companies, prominent citizens and military officers. Sanity in the Nigerian electoral system. President Muhammadu Buhari restates commitment as the All Progressives Congress holds National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja. Federal Road Safety Corps deploys 12,000 personnel to ensure safety on our roads at Easter, just as the first scarcity bites in the Federal Capital Territory. And Nigeria joins the rest of the world to celebrate Tuberculosis Day. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. My name is Funke Oga. President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to do whatever it takes towards sanitizing the nation's electoral process and guaranteeing voters' confidence in the ballot box before the general election. The president made the promise at the National Executive Committee meeting of the All Progressive Congress at the national headquarters of the party in Abuja. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Described as the first formal National Executive Committee meeting of the governing APC, the forum provided the opportunity for members to take critical steps towards enhancing the unity and progress of the party, reviewing the journey so far in the implementation of the change agenda and charting a pragmatic course towards meeting national aspirations. Addressing the party's stalwarts, including Vice President Yemi Oshimbaju, members of the National Working Committee, some governors, and members of the National Assembly, President Buhari expressed serious concern over the rate of politically motivated killings and other violent activities characterizing the electoral process, especially in Rivers State. He said this is not the way he came to power, and under his watch, such will not be allowed to continue.
At this stage of our political development, to remain brutal, I think it's shameful. And as a government, I promise we will do something by the next general election. What I want Nigerians to remember me, even if I have to leave the presidency tomorrow, is that I respect them in the sense that I want all Nigerians to believe and hold their PVCs as personal and their entitlement and Nigerians, and to use it the way they like, to vote whom they want at whichever election.
On governance, the president said, despite prevailing challenges, his administration has remained focused in addressing the nation's fundamental problems of security, corruption, and economy, which he blamed on inefficiency of the past administration.
We are now to pick the pieces as APC government. So there's no need complaining, but let us concentrate and see how much we can do with whatever remains of the economy.
He said through the implementation of the Treasury single account, over 3 trillion naira has so far been mopped up by the federal government.
Where was this 3 trillion naira to have been if TSA is not imposed? That money is there, is identified, is quantified, and when the budget comes back eventually, I think the respective ministries will see how they can allocate it to the rest of the country.
President Buhari said he is not unmindful of the fact that Nigerians want greater pace in the prosecution of those who abuse trust, among other acts of governance, but said that his administration is committed to following due process.
The effort is being made to give a list of recoveries in whatever currencies so far, so that Nigerians will know that it's not all a long story.
The national chairman of the APC, John Odigio Yegun, who expressed satisfaction with the giant strides recorded so far by the Buhari administration, restated the resolve of the party to give every support to the president in the full implementation of the change agenda.
This party must stand as one man behind the success of our president and of the policies that he stands for.
This is the second National Executive Committee meeting of the governing APC since taking over the reins of power. From the APC National Secretariat, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress APC is to reduce the number of the members of the Board of Trustees of the party. The national chairman, APC, John Odigio Yegun, who made this known while responding to questions from journalists after the party's INEC meeting, said reducing the number of the BOT will enhance the efficiency of the board in taking decisions. The forum also condemned the alleged killing of some party members during the recent Rivers rerun election. The amicable resolution of issues confronting the party at the forum, the chairman said, is a testimony of the unity among the NEC members.
The party today, and lastly, I think the only most important thing is that we have set up a committee to look once more into the constitution of the party with a view to streamlining it. More particularly, as the NEC decided to downsize our board of trustees, and that will be looked at in line with all the other constitutional amendments.
APC National Chairman there. The Code of Conduct Tribunal has again ruled that the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, should go through his trial at the tribunal. This was the ruling that followed another application seeking to quash the trial of the Senate President. Femi Okewo has the details.
Is a demonstration of Wirecast.
The defense team of Dr. Bukola Saraki at the last sitting argued that the tribunal could not try the Senate President based on the complaint filed by the EFCC and the Attorney General of the Federation, since that process violated Section 3B of the Code of Conduct Bureau Act. In the position of Mr. Kanu Agabi, only the Bureau was empowered to refer matters to the tribunal. But Justice Danladi Umar overruled that position, stressing that the Attorney General of the Federation had the authority to prosecute in any court. He then assumed jurisdiction, fixing the commencement of trial proper for the 5th of April.
We respect that ruling and we are coming back for trial because it affords the defendant the opportunity to exonerate himself.
It's a good development, is the point we have been making. Now, you cannot be relying on what the 1979 Constitution says, and then you want it to override the 1999 Constitution. It can never be done. Let them take it anywhere. We'll be ready for them.
Now, if everything works according to the ruling of the tribunal, parties are expected to return to these premises on the 5th of April to commence the longer-awaited trial of the Senate President on the charges of false declaration of assets. From the Code of Conduct Tribunal, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
In another development, the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has urged religious groups and leaders to continue to preach peace, tolerance, and tranquility. Bukola Saraki was speaking when he received leaders of Nasirullahi Fati Society of Nigeria, NASFAT, in his office. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Ali reports.
Even though religion is suspected to be a spiritual guidance to humans, it is sometimes misused to the detriment of the society. It is against this background that the Senate President Bukola Saraki was quick to draw the attention of leaders of an Islamic organization, Nasrullahi al-Fatah Society of Nigeria, NASFAT, to always preach peace, tolerance, and harmonious coexistence.
The responsibility is not only government, it's all of us to get to the bottom of it. Or what can we do to get a better understanding?
Senate President Saraki, who expressed willingness of the National Assembly to work with any group that wants to promote peace and harmonious coexistence in Nigeria, congratulated NASFAT for peacefully propagating Islam for 21 years and urged them to remain on the same path. National President of NASFAT, Kamil Yomi Bolorinwa, said the theme for the 21st anniversary is building religious harmony within the Nigerian context. From the National Assembly, Mohammed Ali, NTA News.
And a report just reaching us says the committee set up to reform and clean up the use of public funds in the Office of the National Security Advisor has indicted more than 300 companies, some prominent citizens, including serving and retired officers of the armed forces. Over 7 billion naira has already been recovered by the committee, while another 41 billion naira is to be refunded by the indicted individuals and companies. Further investigation by the EFCC and other investigating bodies will be carried out to determine whether another 75 billion naira payments made by the Office of the former National Security Advisor is to be returned to the government. The Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema and Khadija Abba Ibrahim, say President Muhammadu Buhari's foreign trips are not junkets, but are aimed at making quick wins for Nigeria in curbing insurgency and fixing the economy. This was the thrust of a ministerial chart. Gabriel Odu reports.
Using Nigeria's foreign policy direction as the basis for President Buhari's frequent visits abroad, the ministers believe that the domestic needs of the country underpin our foreign policy, encapsulated in the administration's three-point agenda of anti-corruption, security, and economy.
Africa being the centerpiece of our foreign policy, but Nigeria is also seen and encouraged by African countries to be a leader in the world, to be at the table with the big countries of the world, promoting African interests, promoting Nigerian interests.
Nigeria is willing to go into trade agreements with all the neighboring and also other countries in order to effectively see that the economy is revived once again.
The media chart also dwelled extensively on follow-up mechanisms to ensure these visits have beneficial impacts on Nigerians. Discussions also featured presidential visits to India, South Africa, China, United States, Europe, and back home to her immediate neighbors of Chad, Cameroon, Niger Republic, and Benin Republic, among others. From the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
And a bit on economy, the over 3 trillion naira realized following the implementation of Treasury's single account will in due course be plowed into the economy. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, stated these at a news conference organized by the Buhari Media Support Group. Ismail Musa has the details.
As part of measures to fully educate Nigerians on the programs and policies of the Buhari administration, the federal government is to embark on town hall meetings at regional and state levels. The regional meetings to be chaired by the Vice President, Yemi Oshibanjo. The Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity said will further enhance the citizens' participation in governance.
Government realizes there is a need to take information to the people. The central bank had more than 3 trillion naira money saved from the use of the TSA. So in effect, money available to be spent. A lot of things will be, the money will be unleashed on the country, and there will be a lot of activity there.
Garba Shehu commended the Nigerian army for the giant stride in the ongoing war against insurgency. He added that the federal government has commenced the rebuilding of infrastructure destroyed by Boko Haram. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And now to stories of the season. Christians have followed in the footsteps of Jesus Christ by performing one of his last acts of service to humanity on earth by washing each other's feet as a sign of humility. Amina Najim in this report explains why the practice is still emulated by Christians today.
There is nothing unusual happening here. I'm having my feet cleaned. But on the minds of Christians this Lenten season is a message of humility that Christ displayed when he washed the feet of his disciples. During the times of Jesus Christ, the feet was one of the dirtiest parts of the body because of trekking long distances, the terrain and the nature of sandals worn. As such, washing the feet of another was a duty of a servant to a master because of the messy nature of the job. At the Last Supper, Jesus washed the feet of his disciples, taking upon himself the humblest of duties.
The entire life of Jesus in his earthly ministry has depicted humility. Because indeed, when we come to the Easter period like this, we are looking at, of course, God becoming man. And that is indeed the highest humility that God himself could do.
The Bible says, let this man be in you, which was also in Christ, that though he was God, he thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made of himself of no reputation. Take note, he made of himself of no reputation.
This practice is still being performed today. As for these Christians, it was time to perform the symbolic task. In Abuja, Amina Nujain, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Federal Road Safety Corps has deployed 12,000 personnel and over 800 patrol vehicles across the country for the Easter celebration to ensure that travelers reach their destinations safely. Corps Marshal Boboye Oyemi disclosed this at a media briefing in Abuja. Aliu Tukur reports.
Preparation with regards to the Easter celebrations, which is usually associated with high traffic as a result of the increase in number of people traveling across the country. The Corps Marshal said adequate measures have been put in place to ensure that the roads are safe for travelers.
In case of family traveling, there is need for everybody, both those in the front row and the rear seats, to fasten their seat belts. The children must not be put on the front seat. The wife should learn to sit at the back and let the child stay with the mother at the back seat, with the child restraint seat. We must ensure the tires are okay and the braking system and the wiper are fully in order.
With 65% of accidents attributed to public transport, earlier in the morning the FRSC embarked on sensitization campaign in some motor parks and strategic points within the FCT. During the campaign, breathalyzers were used to ensure that drivers were not driving under the influence of banned substances, and flyers carrying safety standard message were also distributed. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
Holidaymakers who ordinarily would have taken advantage of the public holiday to travel may celebrate Easter in Abuja. Saliu Abdullahi, who visited some motor parks in Abuja, reports that commercial vehicle operators are yet to have a feel of the preparation for Easter.
Ado Isaac is a public servant resident in Abuja for more than 10 years. As usual, his dream of traveling to Benue, his home state, to celebrate Easter is still a priority to him. However, Isaac and others with similar intentions may have their desired stalled by the prolonged fuel scarcity that is hampering movement.
And being on queue now, you have not having any 100% assurance that you're going to get a fuel, because anything can happen. And if you go again now, you will say that the fuel has finished, and you have no other option than to stop the movement. And the full vehicle that have got a privilege to get the fuel, then they will increase the price.
Well, let's just say the festive period will be a little bit crippled if we don't have fuel to move around, I guess.
At the popular Utako Motor Park, NTA observed free flow of traffic. But for the tight security, there was nothing to reflect the preparation for Easter.
The price is okay now. We are paying what we used to pay before. But they say I should pay 2.5, so it's stable.
When the days is going in a week, I think I go Zaria 2 or sometimes 3 times. But now I came out same day before Saturday. Since now today I just going back to Zaria.
A committee has been put in place to make sure that the alcoholic that is banned is not seen anywhere around.
Despite the situation, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has assured residents of security of lives and property through extra deployment of personnel across flash points, especially on the roads, to ease movement.
And in addition, we have commenced robust stop and search, dealing with the issues of unpainted and unregistered taxis, because these are used. And we commenced the operation very vigorously, and this morning we intercepted in action 2 one-chance guys in a syndicate of 3-3, even with their victims and money recovered. And that's the product of the heightened security we have in place.
This, no doubt, will boost the confidence of many road users, especially Ado Isaac and his friends, who may spend the day at the filling station and would want to travel at night. Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Commuters and motorists in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, have continued to experience acute fuel scarcity with only a few hours to the Easter celebration. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, who went around some petrol stations within the metropolis, reports that users of the product describe the situation as worrisome.
It is estimated that Nigeria's petrol consumption stands at about 35 million litres per day. Statistics also indicates that there are about 26,000 petrol stations across the country, with many springing up daily. The Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, reveals that Nigeria currently has not less than 7 million registered vehicles operating on its roads nationwide. With a combination of these factors, experts believe that, for now, Nigeria cannot produce the quantity of the refined products being consumed.
The message is to the managers of the sector to quickly find a solution, a permanent solution to this problem. And I urge them, we have every confidence in them, and we have every confidence that they will find a solution, a permanent solution to this problem in the shortest possible time.
A visit to the petrol station near the NNPC towers shows that most of the motorists are lamenting the inconveniences and stress they undergo before purchasing the products.
Almost 2 hours now, and we can't even buy black market.
So I'm just imagining how it will be on the day of Easter.
At other petrol stations within the metropolis, black marketers are capitalizing on the unfortunate situation.
See the little fuel I managed to come and queue now. Now I run out of fuel. Now I'm looking for just 2 liters now.
In the light of this hardship, motorists and commuters are appealing to the federal government to work out modalities to ensure a lasting solution to the persistent fuel scarcity being experienced across the country. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation says all efforts are in full gear to end the noticeable fuel queues in most parts of the country, noting that the Minister of State, Dr. Ibe Kachuku, has activated the enablers to ensure sanitation of fuel supply and distribution. In a statement by the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, NNPC, Garbaddin Mohammed, the corporation decried the interpretation by a section of the media, the sincere assessment of the fuel supply scenario by Dr. Kachuku during a news conference held at the presidential villa as mischievous. He stated further that efforts are on to eliminate all extraneous factors which have so far impeded the free flow of petrol across the country. while the Minister of State Petroleum is working with the Central Bank of Nigeria to resolve the issue of granting foreign exchange to oil marketers. And traders in major markets in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, have complained of low patronage. Abdullahi Suleiman Yaji reports that the prices of some staples have recorded marginal increase preparatory to the Easter celebration.
Investigations reveal that a 50 kg bag of rice, which sold for 11,500 naira a month ago, now goes for about 13,000 naira, while the 25 kg bag is 6,000 naira as against 5,000 naira. The situation is not different for traders of meat, exotic drinks, and other food items, which they blame on the high cost of transportation.
This time around, we have small sales than before. Before, although we are selling a kilo 1,000, but now it's 1,200. Due to the Easter.
Things are so expensive, you know. It's so, in fact, the estimate I made before coming, I have to overshoot and leave some things. So things are really on the high side in the market.
Some consumers, however, expressed delight with the passage of the budget and hope that it will serve as a stimulus for lower prices of goods. In Abuja, Abdullahi Suleiman Yaji, NTA News.
Ahead on the news tonight, Defense Headquarters reacts to the online Boko Haram video clips. Stay with us.
If you hear a bomb explosion or gunshots of an active shooter, that might be a terror attack. At such times, always remember 3 action words: run, hide, report. Don't try to run towards the terror scene to save the situation, because there might be a second bomb blast or another attack. Run far away and take cover. Make sure you are safe first. Yes, it is in our nature to sympathize over the hurt, but remember, only trained personnel can help in such situations. When in a secured environment, promptly call relevant authorities and help will come. For anonymous reporting, call 09630-3250-5 or 0813-2222-106. If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Join the Airtel family today and get 5 times the value of every recharge. Recharge with *555* *PIN# on the Airtel network and feel at home.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
As a restaurant owner, I always do my best to please my customers, even when I get a large crowd. Now, with new Tastic, everything is so much easier. Just look at this smooth, lump-free semolina and the fiber-rich whole wheat meal. That's my fantastic Tastic.
It's got to be Tastic.
My customers are assured of fantastic meals served perfectly every time. So everything doesn't always go as planned. But our meal is always perfect with Tastic.
It's got to be Tastic.
Serve fantastic new Tastic, your perfect meal partner.
Our founding fathers worked to establish certain standards of governance. Some of their successors behaved like spoiled children, breaking everything and bringing disorder to the house.
The leaders at that time, as well as those of us that followed them, were patriotic. They went into politics to serve, but not to be served.
It is people doing things wrong and not being sanctioned that led to this escalation.
What is going on now? We are beginning to lift up the quality of leadership.
We must not succumb to hopelessness and defeatism. We can fix our problems.
As Nigerians prepare for this year's Easter celebration, the leadership of the Petroleum Tankers Drivers Branch at the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, PTD Nupeng, wishes to advise tanker drivers to strictly obey all traffic rules and regulations, avoid reckless driving, avoid overspeeding, affix retro-reflective tapes on their tankers, always use their seat belts, and ensure proper maintenance of tankers plying the nation's highways, especially during the festive season. Always drive to save a life. Otumba Salmon Akani, JP, Chairman, PTD Branch of Nupeng, Announcer.
Mommy more, where would I be without you? Now you be my best friend, now you be my sister, now you be my mentor, and you are still my mama.
Mama na kay nakatay, kibani doya de wake, mama no lazy. You help me reach my peak, mama. Now you wash, my infant head, oh, everything for you I go do, mama.
Show your sweet and caring mother how much she means to you. Celebrate her with the special Peak Packs. Peak, it's in you.
The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, in line with its commitment to bridge the wide metering gap in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, issued an order allowing willing electricity consumers to advance money or pay for electric meters under a scheme called Credited Advance Payment for Metering Implementation. It was designed by NEC as a short-term measure to accelerate metering for all electricity customers. All electricity distribution companies should take note that the Commission, as part of its policy to enforce their performance agreement on metering and wind-down capping, hereby directs that customers who paid for meters must be metered within the stipulated time. Electricity customers who have paid or advanced money to their electricity distribution companies for meters since November 1st, 2013 and have not been metered should submit complaints to NEC with evidence of such payment or forward same to info@nercng.org or call 09-462-1410. Management. Announcer.
You're welcome back to Network News on Africa's largest television network, NTA. The Nigerian Armed Forces say the online video clips purportedly released by the leader of Boko Haram, Abubakar Shekau, showing remorse and asking for forgiveness is another ploy of the terrorists to distract the citizens from the current security alertness. While urging the people to discountenance the content of the video clips, the Nigerian army pledged to continue to fight to consolidate the successes recorded in degrading the terrorists and assured Nigerians that no inch of the Nigerian territory will be allowed to be bastardized by any force of darkness again. In a statement by the Acting Director, Defense Information, Defense Headquarters, Rabi Abubakar, said all captives by Boko Haram terrorists will regain their freedom with the final offensive against the terrorists. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonishakin, commended all officers and men of the Nigerian Armed Forces for their sacrifices, determination, and courage to tackle the insurgency and asked them to complete the good job they have started in line with the rules of engagement. The statement further advised the people to be security conscious during the Easter celebration and beyond. And now to health matters. The federal government has restated its commitment to check the spread of tuberculosis by increasing surveillance to detect new cases and offer prompt care to those affected. The Minister of Health, Isaac Adewale, stated these on NTA's program Good Morning Nigeria while discussing the rising cases of tuberculosis in Nigeria. Joy Uzo reports.
Professor Isaac Adewale says the ministry and its partners are re-strategizing to ensure that new cases are detected early while treatment is assessed by those infected.
The implication is that 1 out of every 5 or 6 is out there undetected.
So it's a huge risk, and that's why all of us must work together.
The guest also explained that poor immune system, HIV/AIDS and overcrowded environment are some major predisposing factors that lead to contracting tuberculosis.
We need more public awareness on TB. People need to know that once you are coughing, once you are having weight loss or fever or any symptom, any signs or symptoms of any illness that is unexplained, you need to be screened for TB.
In this TB control program, there is the need for nutrition education so that patients will know how to appropriate their money in the food purchasing.
And that's part of the problem. Apart from the patient not taking the drugs properly, you find out that if they are not given the appropriate treatment, then they develop drug-resistant TB.
This year's World Tuberculosis Day theme is Unite to End TB. In Abuja, Joy Uzo, NTA News.
And Nigeria has joined the rest of the world to commemorate the 2016 World Tuberculosis Day. Mujanat Adam Said reports that ignorance is said to be one of the major causes of tuberculosis transmission in developing countries. Her report.
24th of March every year is set aside as World TB Day globally. The theme for this year is Find TB, Treat TB, and work together to stop the transmission of tuberculosis. 27-year-old Dosumu Funke Rachel is a survivor of tuberculosis. A public health educationist contacted the disease through the air as one of the major ways of contacting tuberculosis.
Let us fight TB together. Let us join our war to fight TB.
Statistics shows that about 4,000 people die globally from tuberculosis, and it has continued to be a public health challenge in many developing countries, including Nigeria. Tuberculosis is said to be the most common life-threatening disease and the #1 killer among many people living with HIV.
The number of these cases are undetected. About 85% are working free. We're yet to pick them. And so our goal is to actively look for them.
In view of its devastating effect, development partners are deliberating on ways to stop the spread of the disease.
USAID is providing technical assistance to help the Nigerian National TB program to uptake and use this drug.
The symptoms of tuberculosis include coughing up blood, fever, night sweat, loss of appetite. In Abuja, Murjanatu Adam Said, NTA News.
Still on health issues, the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, has called on Nigerians to constantly engage in a medical checkup to improve the health of the nation. Mrs. Buhari stated this in a message to the official flag-off of free medical screening organized by her pet project Future Assured in partnership with a non-governmental organization, Cry for Help, in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir has details.
This is the fifth phase of the provision of free medical services to the less privileged, courtesy of the wife of the president's initiative, Future Assured. The intention is to reach to every part of the country. The exercise, basically a free eye examination to prevent vision impairment that has to do with glaucoma and cataracts, more especially amongst the elderly, in addition to the provision of blood pressure and sugar level checks. The provision of this treatment received the attention of volunteer medical professionals. The wife of the president, who was represented by her personal physician, Dr. Abdurrahman Muhammad Kamal, said is aimed at improving the health status of the people, which is in line with the WHO vision of eliminating major causes of preventable blindness by year 2020. The governor of the state, Ibukule Amosu, promised his full support to safeguard the health of the nation. The wife of the governor, Olufosho Amosu, applauded the initiative. The beneficiaries expressed their happiness with this gesture. Over 5,000 people have benefited from the exercise. From Abeokuta, Ogun State capital, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
And now to World of Arts. The Ministerial Committee to fast-track the passage into law, the Motion Picture Practitioners Council of Nigeria, MOPICON Bill, will be inaugurated on Friday, 8th of April at the Conference Room, National Theatre, Igomu, Lagos. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, in a statement says The 17-member committee will have Peace Ayam Oshigwe as coordinator and Mahmoud Ali Balogun as deputy coordinator. They will review and harmonize the Mopicon bill ahead of its submission to the Federal Ministry of Justice and then the National Assembly. The membership of the committee will include representatives of the Association of Movie Producers, Directors Guild of Nigeria, Motion Picture Practitioners Association of Nigeria, as well as Producers and Marketers Association of Nigeria. Other associations to be represented in the committee are Association of Nigeria Theatre Arts Practitioners, Nigeria Film and Video Censors Board, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Script Writers Guild of Nigeria, and Movie Ambassadors of Nigeria, Niger Delta Film Forum and Female Producers of Nigeria. Tony Annie of Filmmakers Collective will serve as secretary to the committee. When established, Mopicon will regulate, administer, and control motion pictures practice in Nigeria. The minister had announced plans to set up the committee at the 2016 Kannywood Award ceremony. Nigerian youths have been urged to shun violence in any form and embrace education and sustainable skills. The speakers of the Nigerian Youth Parliament, Ayodele John Obe, stated this when he led a delegation on an advocacy visit to the Acting Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Philip Ofebu, at the Abuja headquarters. Edino Justice has the details.
The Director News, Malam Aliu Baba Barau, received the Youth Parliament executives on behalf of the Acting Director General of NTA, Mr. Philip Ofebu. The Youth Speaker, Ayodele Obe, said they were in NTA to seek partnership in reaching out to millions of Nigerian youths who constitute the bulk of the population.
Our major role in the advocacy, reorientation, and the recalibration of the Nigerian and average Nigerian youth to take their stand towards patriotism, towards national development, towards national growth.
Malam Aliu Baba Barau, while promising to pass on their pleas for partnership, stressed that youth, with their population and vibrancy in them, should put into productivity as the nation's future depend on them. He commended the uniqueness of the parliament and urged them to put their zeal to work.
People to be entrepreneurs, to be employers of labor, instead of being in the labor market. As far as NTA is concerned, is the issue of national integration, towards projecting the true African perspective.
From NTA headquarters, Abuja, Edino Justice, NTA News.
Islamic scholars have reiterated that the teachings and practice of Islam are based on peace, love for humanity, and brotherliness. Guests on NTA's current affairs program, Moment for Thought, express these views.
If we are to analyze what Islam stands for, it is the true way of life. That is what religion is all about.
The name Islam is peace. It signifies peaceful living.
Moment for Thoughts comes up tonight at 10:30 on NTA Network Service. Well, Lagos, the Center of Excellence, is where we go next. Vera is standing by. What is making the rounds there, Vera?
We'll hear that in a minute. Okay. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. Korean electronic manufacturing giant Samsung has introduced two latest flagship phones, Samsung Galaxy S7 and Galaxy S7 Edge, into the Nigerian market. The company presented the two sophisticated handsets to the consumers at an event held in Lagos. Jane Ojukwu has details.
The latest Samsung Galaxy smartphones, S7 and S7 Edge, are described as the best smartphones ever made by Samsung Electronics. The management of the company said these sophisticated handsets are out to satisfy the yearnings of customers who want a device that offers much more in terms of storage capacity, battery life, and waterproof, among other features.
7 key differentiators. One, of course, edge design. Although the S6 had edge design, this is an edge design that has been enhanced. It has a lot more functionality on the side. If you use the side, you can see a lot more functionality. Also, aesthetically, it's a little bit more comfortable, so a little bit more narrower. It fits in the hand of women and men a lot better. So design, number one. And number two, everybody uses their camera on their smartphone now instead of a DSLR camera. So we've improved the camera.
You don't need to cover your charging port or your USB connector. Unlike on some other devices, you need to protect these so that water doesn't get in. But now you don't need to worry about it on the S7 and on the Galaxy S7 Edge. It's fully protected against water ingress, which is perfect.
Apart from the device's aesthetic beauty, the phones have improved game features, which offer customers beautiful experience.
When it comes to speed, this device is one of the best, if not the best in the market right now. It's got a 4GB RAM, which of course helps you to multitask. You can actually run multiple applications on this device without the device hanging up on you. Another lovely thing I love about this device is the fact that the outdoor visibility is simply awesome. Now, this device actually has a Super AMOLED display, and is actually high resolution. So whether you're outdoor or you're indoor, the screen display is just simply phenomenal.
Management of Samsung Electronics says the company has remained a leader with innovative style of preempting the future and creating products that will meet its customers' demands. In Lagos, Jane Ojukwu, NTA News.
This is the Lagos Network Center of the NTA. The news continues shortly with Funke in Abuja. After this time out, stay with us.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Most people avoid the tough jobs. We're different. We're not here to complain that things are broken. We're here to fix them. You need someone that'll take the tough decisions and stand by their word. To do that, you need the best of the best. Physically, mentally. So it doesn't matter if it's creating opportunities or supporting economies. We know it's a tough job. But hey, somebody's got to do it. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
Welcome home, agents. This is your biggest mission yet. We've developed something entirely new. EasyFlex Evolution.
Evolution?
It changes everything the world knows about value. You now can choose between two plans. EasyFlex Data Plus, which gives you all the data you need, plus talk time. Or EasyFlex Voice Plus, which gives you 3 times the talk time and includes a data plan. No matter what you choose, you get the best of both worlds.
This is powerful. There's never been anything like it with so much
value. So what's the mission?
There's some who try to keep this from getting out there. Your mission, deliver EasyFlex Evolution to everyone in one piece. Suit up. From now on, it's up to you. You've been briefed.
As a 21st century mom, I try to find balance in everything I do. Thanks to my fantastic new meal partner, Tastic. With Tastic, everything is so much easier. Just look at this new quality pasta. Rich, golden color, cooks perfectly, and doesn't stick. Now that's my fantastic Tastic. It's got to be Tastic. Well, everything go as planned, but meal times are always perfect with Tastic.
Now you know why she's the star of the family and her workplace too.
It's got to be Tastic. Serve fantastic new Tastic, your perfect meal partner.
Good to know that you are still on with us on NTA Network News. Financial analysts react to the passage of the 2016 budget by the National Assembly. Here is Chiazala Mekie with these and more on Business News.
Many thanks for joining us. Following weeks of delay, the two chambers of the National Assembly have finally approved the 2016 budget with a reduction of 17.8 billion naira from the 6.07 trillion naira initially presented by President Muhammadu Buhari. These financial analysts say cannot come at a better time than now that the economy is in dire need of revival.
It is good that they passed the budget, but it should have been done much earlier. Nigerians expect that the budget should be thoroughly and properly implemented.
Everybody expects us to see something akin to a Marshall Plan, something that will look at what we need to do within this economy to grow the economy from inside out and not from outside in, because nobody's going to come to help us grow our economy if we don't grow it ourselves then.
Meanwhile, the Executive Secretary, African Ministers Council on Water says African leaders must invest more in infrastructure in order to create more employment opportunity for hard-teaming youth. He notes that energy, transportation, ICT and water resources must be given priority to boost the economic growth of Africa.
We are talking about jobs. Every country, developing countries, everybody talks about unemployment. I tell people that I live in Nigeria, I've seen people with PhD driving taxis. We need to have at least 3,000 engineers, technicians to be graduated every year in total Africa to be able to meet the capacity needs.
And that concludes today's package. I am Chiazala Mekie. The news continues. Please stay with us.
Olu of Warri visits Governor Oshiomhole. Ogochukwu brings us details from Benin Network Center. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us in Benin. The Olu of Warri, Ogiame Kenwole I, has stressed the need for people from various ethnic groups in the country to live harmoniously. The monarch says it is necessary for peace to reign so that development can thrive in Nigeria. The Olu of Warri stated this while on a thank you visit to Governor Adams Oshiomhole. Agatha Egware-Ojo reports.
Warri has been going round on a thank you visit to personalities to appreciate them for identifying with the people of Warri during the period of mourning of the late Olu Atuwase Ogiame II and his subsequent ascension to the throne. He is also by the visit building bridges of unity between the Shakiri people and Benin Kingdom.
Thank you to me and to bless you that the Almighty God, who is the ultimate supporter, if anybody wants to continue to support you.
Governor Oshiomhole congratulated him on successful ascension to the throne. The governor described the Olu's visit as a show of uncommon humility and one that would cement the relationship between the two kingdoms.
Your Royal Majesty, we are all in prayers that God will help you to preside over the affairs of your kingdom and to uplift the people under your reign.
The Olu of Warri was installed on December 12 last year. In Benin, Agatha Egware-Ojo, NTA News.
The Delta State Police Command says it will soon embrace the standard practice of crime fighting and prevention with digital technology in the state. To this end, the Commissioner of Police, Alkali Baba Usman, has inaugurated a modern security control tower built by the B Division Avenue Warri. Austin Edemodo reports that new administrative building and officers' mess are also under construction.
The newly built control tower